The movie starts with a young Miss Elizabeth Swann getting lectured on how hangings are carried out simply because she was singing a pirate song. In the middle of the lesson, the fog reveals the only survivor of a shipwreck, a kid named William Turner, and most importantly, an easy-to-steal thingy relevant to the plot. We fast forward some years to meet a grown-up Elizabeth, being asphyxiated by the thinly veiled metaphor represented by a tight dress. You see, Elizabeth and Will have been close to each other since they first met, but they belong to different social classes, so the aristocrat society would never understand a high-class lady's and a blacksmith assistant's insatiable need to shag with each other, expressed only through battles of formality.
How many times must I ask you to call me Elizabeth?
At least once more, Miss Swan. As always.
In the meantime, Jack Sparrow has what we will come to find out is a very fitting entrance. He was here to steal a Royal Navy ship, but happens to be the only one available to save Elizabeth when she passes out due to the aforementioned dress. Jack didn't know it yet, but this decision will lead him to getting captured. But wait, there's more. The Black Pearl members go to kidnap Elizabeth, looking for the thing she stole from William and believing she's the only child of Bootstrap Bill Turner, a former pirate. This prompts Jack and Will to assemble a crew together since they both want to get something back, be it Elizabeth or the Black Pearl. When everyone meets up again, it's on Isla de la Muerte, since Barbossa realizes Elizabeth's blood doesn't undo the curse they're under. She's rescued by Will. Jack, on the other hand, tries to whistle out of the situation, attempting to exchange information on who's the real child of Bill Turner. But Barbossa eventually catches up to the cruise ship, and a naval battle breaks out. Our heroes were very determined, although not successful, because at the end of the day, Will has to offer himself to see that everybody else makes it out alive. I don't know what happened to the others, but at least Jack and Elizabeth get left behind in a deserted island, which actually ends up being rather a mild inconvenience more than anything else, because by the next morning the smoke of a fire Elizabeth lit up leads to the rescue by the English army, just in time for the climax of the movie. Jack tries to bait both the English and the members of the Black Pearl into a contrived set of actions that would eventually see him with the possession of the ship. But at this point everyone knows better than to follow one of his plans, so Isla de la Muerte becomes a battlefield. Until Will does what they wanted eventually, undoing the course. Unfortunately for them, he did it at the worst time possible. The end. Oh wait, actually there's another scene where Elizabeth and Will get together and Jack reunites with his crew. The end.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Here we see an amazing job of carrying a character that needs so much precision in its portrayal. The mannerisms, the facial expressions, the inflection when speaking. Throughout the whole film we see a tightrope act, and Johnny Depp managed to come out the other way completely unscathed. An important part of this is contrast. Given the nature of the concept and the tone it presents right from the beginning, we can see other characters indulging in a gag or two at minimum. However, they maintain a certain role. Someone like Commodore Norrington mostly plays it straight, while other characters like the bodyguards are as idiotic as possible. It's like that for everybody, except for Jack. He carries a lighter tone different to some of Barbossa's crew, for example, while being relevant to the plot in a different way completely than Elizabeth or Will. These last two react to Norrington's or Barbossa's actions, while Jack actually takes the initiative and puts them in the back seat in a couple of occasions. Jack stays in a middle ground, using an antagonist's proactiveness in a protagonist position in order to reach his goals, and also without watering down the dramatic tension. You don't necessarily think, oh, all of this is silly. You think more so, there's a crazy guy in the middle of all this. If only every aspect could have been that nuanced. Curse of the Black Pearl doesn't manage subtlety. when it wants to tell you something. There are many scenes which have more in common with an interrogation than an actual conversation. At least if you're going to do it, be subtle about it. By the latter half I can tell when an exposition dump was coming, because suddenly a static shot would be set and a question as simple as "Did you know Bill Turner?" would give way into a whole expose sparing no detail. The same mindset leaks into the action and battles, which at best are very nondescript. It seems like whenever those started being filmed, everybody left the room except for the music and choreography teams. At first it may be easy to be distracted by the bombastic music and the flashy moves, but at some point you're sitting in there, watching and start asking some questions. Take this scene for example. Could you tell me which one of the two holds the advantage at this point? Because I can't. All I see are swords being bandied about, explosion, yelling, things getting broken. It's not hard to tell who the movie wants you to root for at any given point, that's clear. But it's harder to be invested in their victory when you're not given any thread to follow beyond "there's a fight happening." Curse of the Black Pearl is worth it as a movie if you're looking for a light adventure story or a flick to watch with the whole family. Despite the stumbles at the time of giving exposition, the War of the Pirates is a very well built one. It doesn't surprise me at all that it would be explored more in future sequels, given the bunch of places that capture one's imagination and the lots of characters that, if put under the proper spotlight, could steal the show perfectly. At the end of the day, Pirates of the Caribbean was a project that was meant to be a fun watch, and that's what it is. A fun watch and not much more.